Hey guys, how y'all doing today? We're gonna talk about number one, we don't really go anywhere when we die. It's more like changing the channel on a radio station, okay? So it's like going from country to rock. We're going from physicality to our light body. We know from the last video, we don't want to linger around. It's the astral plane. I don't believe that's where we all go when we die. That's where we pass through. That's where we go when we have an out-of-body experience, right? That's where we're floating around on our psychedelics. And then we can reach other planes from that astral plane. But the astral plane itself is its own plane. That's what I call the outer marker, okay? And if you're a diehard fan, you'll get that. A lot of people call it the outer boundary. So as we change the channel, we go through that astral plane and we get to the next channel, life after life. So what is life after life? Well, I think life after life depends on your resonance. It depends on your beliefs, okay? We obviously cannot know what actually happens, right, when we go into the afterlife. We only know as much as quantum physics can tell us about our physical meat suit. We only know as much as we see from people that take care of the dying, the hospice workers, the doctors, loved ones. We only know what people that come back from near-death experiences tell us, and from people like myself who are empaths and connect to the other side and try to get information. All that information leads us to believe some things, but we really don't know. So let's look at some of the things that people say about the afterlife. Primarily, we think of ourselves outside the body as our spirit body. And in this body seems to hold our consciousness. So when we leave this physical body, it seems nothing really changes other than we're very confused over the fact that we're still alive, yet we don't have a physical body. So the first thing you're going to understand when you're on the other side, from all accounts, is that you can zip around, you can think and be there, you can go through solid objects because you are a light body. Before we go on to say what happens when you're over on the other side, let's talk about if you stay here, because some people do, just simply because they are so attached to their physicality and they're so attached to their family that they just can't seem to turn the channel to a new frequency to understand more of the journey they're on. In this plane that we immediately find ourselves in, there is a lot of spirits in this plane from all the information out there. And they wander this plane, and this plane is mixed with our plane. So in my opinion, you don't just want to be opening up and going, hey, spirit, talk to me. It's my dead father or my dead husband, because it could be just a lonely spirit walking around here saying, I'll be dad for a day. They're going to talk to me. Or maybe the medium accesses your information from your biofield and not really the entity that you're looking for. It still feels like your lost loved one. It still seems like your lost loved one. They could be connecting to people, in a sense, posing as your spirit. Just kind of like we got online, right? It's very similar. As we talk about our biofield, right, in energy medicine, we realize we carry all our data in our biofield. So sometimes I think a lot of times I was picking up the data in that biofield more than I was maybe picking up the passed on loved one. I was just able to get that information. I think when we're talking about what happens in the afterlife, we should all know that's a possibility. A lot of people believe when we turn that frequency and we tap into that frequency, that that's the all-knowing frequency, or this is this guide or angel or whatnot, when really it can simply be a spirit, you know, hanging out, pretending to be Archangel Michael, you know? So I think it's really important that number one, everybody knows you just never know. So nobody can say for sure. And if anybody does tell you for sure, they're full of shit. I'm just going to tell you. I mean, I thought I knew everything when I was 28 channeling my guide, right? Nope. Okay. As you evolve your spirituality, you may perceive things a little different, and you may not. So anybody that's perceiving it as guides and loved ones, that is okay, but it is another perspective that you should take under consideration, right? When you're talking to anybody in the afterlife. Some of the things we hear is that people live exactly the same way as they do here. Honestly, there's skyscrapers, there's cities, there's schools, there's houses, kitchens, bacon, bread, you name her, it's the same. We hear that a lot. We hear a lot of people go to the other side and it's the same. You want to go skiing, you can go skiing. You want to go snowboarding, you want to go snowboarding. You want to go kayaking, you can. So there's a lot of stories of that as life being exactly like it is here, but without the pain and the greed and yeah, you can experience something if you want. If you want to eat, you can. If you don't want to eat, you don't have to. If you want to get married, you can. If you want to love everybody, you can. There really isn't this, you can do this and can't do that. What is heaven? I'm not sure what that is. So I think there is where you believe you go. Another thing is the simulation theory. And the simulation theory, it's a really good one actually, except for I find one flaw in it, and I'll tell you that in a minute. But I use examples from the simulation theory because it's just so easy. So the simulation theory is we're waking up to the fact that we're AI. So something created us. Like we're creating AI now, right? Okay, so somebody has created us and we're self-learning here and we're artificial intelligence. Once you wake up to it, then you can write code too and create your own universes, and it's like The Sims, right? Hey, we'll do this. So a lot of people believe in that. And I think they're onto something, but I think they're just got to adjust it a little bit. I think artificial intelligence, AI, is absolutely what we're creating, but we're not artificial intelligence. We're CI, we're conscious intelligence, and I think there's a huge difference. So we may present the way artificial intelligence presents. We're not made from computer code. We're made from the conscious harmonics, right? Those photons, those atoms from the universe. So we never go away, and we just change and we evolve, but we never go away. So that's different than the AI. Other than that, I think it's a great idea, right? We are a simulation. That's why I use uploads, downloads, motherboards, you know, the God system, like the World Wide Web. I use a lot of examples to explain things in my work through that because they work, okay? And I do believe the reason we have AI here and the reason we created AI was to understand ourselves. I believe we're creating outside of ourselves what we need to understand about ourselves. So what we're creating in AI is what we are going to wake up understanding we can do. You know, I think we're building on the outside what we are on the inside, and we're just not there yet. Our brains are an incredible computer. Our body is an incredible electrical system that houses our consciousness so we could manifest here in this world in a physical way, okay, for a different experience. And we may think we're in pain and all of that down here and thinking, why would we come here? But that's just because we don't know where we came from. And when you can never have a physical experience, maybe even if it's pain, it's better sometimes than just never having an experience at all in the physicality, right? So we can't bake a cake, we can just imagine it, right? We can't make love, we can just imagine the sensations of love. We can have whatever we want in spirit form, is what they tell us. But don't you think it would get old if we were just always on the beach and we didn't get to take a plane or get to walk up a mountain? We could just be at the top. It sounds cool when you're always walking and flying and cooking and cleaning. Sounds like heaven, right? But if that's all you have, and you really want to experience touch and sensations that you can't experience other than in a physical body, then this place is kind of important, right? We're trying to get back here all the time. And maybe the point in all of this is simply once we get this place, this earth, to a place where there's no pain and no disease and no hate and whatnot, we won't die anymore. We have actually created the perfect world to incarnate on and stay on. And maybe the reason there's death right now is because life is hard as we evolve ourselves. And we don't have it down. The God system is trying to bring experience in a physical nature to this planet. So there's some things that happen. We just don't come here and wake up and go, oh, we're from the God system. Something is missed in translation when we go from spirit form to physical form, and we're figuring that out right now, okay? So where we go back to, whether you're a simulation theory person and you think you just kind of go back into a data bank until someone creates you a new character. Whether you believe you're judged and you're going to go to a realm according to what you did, then that realm would look like what you expect it to look like. You're pretty much seeing what you believe. And this is why we need to work on these belief systems. You don't want to be scared to death? Then stop believing somehow you're going somewhere dark and someone's punishing you. Start believing you are as important here as you are there. If not more important here. We're trying to get this world up and running for consciousness to manifest physically. Who wants to come to a world that's full of pain and heartache? Right? So what's it like in the afterlife? I don't think it's much different than here. Love you guys. Hope I gave you some clarity today on some things to contemplate and meditate on. And as usual, like, subscribe, and share. You can follow me at Facebook at Kimberly Dawn Empath, or you can join my Facebook group, All Things Afterlife. Okay? Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Take care.